I was 11 years old, and I attended my church. And one day, Pastor Kent Mattox, he came to our church for preaching. And I really remember very clear this sermon and this service, because God's power was on this sermon and this service. And I remember in the end of service, he started to prophesy, and he called me to came up to the stage, and he started to prophesy me, and he said that I will become a servant, I will become a preacher, and then one day I will preach all over the world. So, I received this word, and I started to believe in this word. Of course, I'm from little town, and it sounds like something unusual and unreal, because all people in my town, they just work on the mine. They don't have any dream to be somewhere abroad of their country. So, from this moment I started to believe. And I remember one more conference, youth conference, what we had in Ukraine. There was one pastor who preached about boldness, that you should become boldness and believe God and follow Him, and no matter what's around you. And he preached about Peter, who came out from the boat. And in the end of the service, he started to proclaim with a very loud voice, you should come out from your boat and make this bold step to follow Jesus Christ and follow His voice. And I remember in this service, in the end of this service, I started to pray, and I asked God what I should to do in this life. And He asked me, and He said, what do you want to do for me? And I was so happy, because in this moment I clearly heard the voice of God. And I said, of course I want to be evangelist. I want to preach the gospel and good news of Christ. And it's very interesting, because in this moment I expected that God will give me clear instruction what I should to do, who will give me money and so on. But after this question, I just heard the simple two words, to be. Just be the evangelist, just preach the gospel. And I remember after this service I had so strong boldness, and I went and I found one pastor, and I asked him to invite me to his church to preach the gospel. And this pastor was in a very little village, and I gathered my team, and I was maybe 15 years old or 16 years old, and we started to preach the gospel in this village. And then we made like little service for these people, and about 4 people came to the Lord, and so many people, they received healing on this service. And it was like my start of my ministry. So today I want to testify that I have big ministry. I have 16 churches in my country and 1 abroad of my country. And also I have tent ministry. We have 2 tents, and every summer 2 teams, they traveling with this tent, and they preach the gospel all over Ukraine. So also I preach almost in 20 countries in the world. I preached in Pakistan, China, preached in US, so many countries in Europe. And all of this is because I received this word, and I start believed in this word. And I believe if you receive word from God and you don't be afraid to believe God and follow His word, one day He will take you to this goal. He will take you to this mountain where He wants to see you. So I encourage you, and I believe God will take you, and He will show you the biggest dream what He has for you, and through this way you will see His glory in your life. Amen. I am Anton Tishenko, and this is my story.